The round of 16 games at the ongoing AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, good games. You saw Cabo Verde, as they are called, Cape Verde, that lone goal against Mauritania. The tallest goalkeeper in the tournament for Mauritania, Babacar Niasse, very 56 meters height for that goalkeeper, and he was sent out of the Nation Cup. And surprise, surprise, last night, number one team in Africa crashed out of the tournament. These are many more on the show. 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Welcome you to the show proper with those video. Okay, let's start with this story before we look at the games that were played last night between South Africa and the Atlas Lions of Morocco and that of Burkina Faso against the Eagles of Mali. But let's start with these from the Super Eagles camp right there, where our number one goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali is not ruled out of the game coming up against Angola on Friday, and we will be getting that report because he will be going through some tests today, Wednesday, and then we are waiting for that result. Honestly, we want to see Stanley Nwabali back in between the sticks for the Super Eagles. Quickly, let's just have a tip of that video where he resumed training, full training on Tuesday, doing some light training with the goalkeeper trainer in the camp. On Monday, he actually did some workout, but yesterday he was back in between the sticks, going through some training right there in Cote d'Ivoire. And on that note, I will be welcoming Noel Sampson to the show proper. Noel Sampson, for Stanley Nwabali, now the news is coming in, though we have to wait for that test. We have to know, as in wait for the result of that test that will be carried out to see if we will be fully fit for that game against the Palanca Negras of Angola.
We are hopeful. We pray that Nwabali is fit, because when he pulled out of the match against Cameroon, it was, Uzoho, what are you training for? What are you jogging? People were scared. We were like, why Uzoho? Why not the third choice? So having Uzoho at our goal post will be scared. And I think even the coach made some changes when he brought in he was coming out. He brought in a new defender to help arrange the defense well. So I would just pray he's back. But I saw some video apart from this video. This video I saw yesterday where he was going through light training and he was limping. So if it's I just pray it's not something serious, and if it's something serious, you shouldn't just force him to start, because forcing him to start not 100% fit is really bad for the team. So we just pray after today's scan he's really fit and he should not be forced to start.
Okay, should not be forced to start that game against the Angolans. If you remember what the Angola did to us, August 12, 1989, that was when we lost the late Samuel Okwaraji. It was against the Angola national team. And in 2006 World Cup, the Angolans, they stopped us from going to Germany 2006. I could remember that game in Kano, very hot sun that day. We played 1-1 and we went to Angola. We lost 1-0 in that game, and the reverse fixture here in Nigeria, it was 1-1. Angola has actually had some fair shares of result with us, though we've beaten them more in all of our meetings. But let's quickly look at this game on Friday. What are your expectations quickly?
Yeah, if you were to look at paper, if you look at the ranking and look at statistics, everything, the what of players, I think Nigeria have the upper hand. But this Nations Cup has been really surprising for everybody. There's been a shocker for everybody. If South Africa, we would think we'll never pass through the group stage, we'll be able to beat the Moroccans yesterday, not by 1 goal but 2 goals. Then you see the competition is really very stiff and very competitive. Although those we think are going to be the ones going to win this Nations Cup are out of the team. The likes of Senegal, the likes of Morocco, the likes of Algeria, the likes of Egypt. You can see the ones we have there now are underdogs. Those we never expected that they would be
underdogs and bites.
Yes, and that's just the truth. So we just pray our players should not. They should take this match better the way they played against Cameroon, because they should not direct these guys. You can see the gifts the Angolan players are receiving now. So they should know that is motivation. That is motivation, and our players should not look at. Although if you look at the ranking, we are more than them in both in world ranking and African. When you come and ranking in Africa, but this football, anything can happen. If Mauritania can get to the round of 16, and then Angola is quite better than Mauritania. If you look at ranking and every other thing, so we should be careful. We should try make a very good game plan and make sure we defeat these guys.
Okay. As it stands right now, all the top 5 teams on the continent of Africa are all out of the Nations Cup. Algeria, Cameroon, Morocco. We have Tunisia, Ghana, Egypt, who are the top 5 countries on the continent of Africa. They are all out of the Nations Cup. Big one. And for the remaining teams, only Nigeria, and Nigeria is ranked 6th on the continent of Africa, and every other team that is remaining there are ranked below Nigeria. So what a way to go in the Nations Cup. Okay, let's quickly go over straight to the results of games that were played last night. The first game between the Eagles of Mali and 2013 runners of Stallions, the Stallions of Burkina Faso, ended 2-1 in favor of the Eagles of Mali. The first goal was courtesy of an own goal, and then before they got the second goal, and Traore, former Chelsea player, got that the only goal for Burkina Faso in that game. Let's quickly have the result on the screen. If we can have the result on the screen now. Let's look at that of South Africa between Morocco and South Africa, the Bafana of South Africa and Atlas Lions of Morocco, the #1 team on the continent of Africa, the highest ranked team on the continent of Africa, is out of the Nations Cup.
Surprising. I was speaking to some of my friends prior to the match. We were like, South Africa might win Morocco. And it was surprising. It was surprising when they scored the first goal and the second goal. So to be you said that, I said yes, because you can see the different kind of surprises that were happening in the competition so far. All those teams you think are not teams that are footballing nations are now even trying to show themselves. Yes, that this Nations Cup is either we cannot leave without putting up a fight. So it wasn't surprising yesterday. It was not a fluke. Like I said, it was not luck. 1-0 might be luck, but 2-0. If to yesterday, one of the Moroccan defenders, Amrabat, was his name?
Amrabat was red carded.
And when I looked at when we watched the replay, it wasn't what him pushing that player to the extent of him being red carded. So I don't know why he did such. Probably he was under pressure and every other thing. So it's really surprising. And we just pray Nigeria go far in the competition. Okay,
now but let's look at it this way. This AFCON has actually produced a lot of shockers and surprises. So far, so good for you. How will you rate the first round, the group stage, and now we are done with the round of 16 with at least 2 stages down and then 2 to go? The quarterfinal, 3 to go. Quarterfinal, semi-final, and the final. So, what's your rating generally?
It's really, to me, it's even the competition is more the AFCON is more competitive than that of the World Cup, and that was the truth, because the World Cup you can see those. Okay, France will try to play more better. You know, okay, Argentina will get, probably because of Messi. This is his last World Cup. He wants to play better. You might say Portugal, before they were crashed out of the competition. They crashed out for the competition. But this competition, when we saw the group stages of the groups where each country was placed, we were like, okay, Nigeria will be the first in this competition. in the group, followed by Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Ivory Coast. I never rated Equatorial Guinea. And surprisingly, who came out first in the group? It was Equatorial Guinea. Who came out second? Nigeria. Even Ivory Coast, if not for Zambia, Zambia losing to Morocco, if I'm right, they won't have lost. They won't have qualified for the round of 16. So it's really been competitive, really serious, really competitive, and there'll be different shockers in the competition. I'm really proud of those players. And when I watched the match of Mauritania, you can say Mauritania very fantastic. They're very fantastic. They'll be playing well. The thing that they didn't work on the way they play their shot, they're attacking the way they attack, the way they play their shots. Because when you just look at them, sometimes they just play the shot from outside the 18 most times without getting to the 18 before they play the shot. But it's the game competition. The competition has really been fantastic and been well, and I'm really proud of the different teams that I've played so far in the competition.
Okay, so far so good. If you look at the game that was played last night, Mali 2 and Burkina Faso 1. That particular game started. It was the first game. So, what do you think went wrong for Burkina Faso?
I really didn't watch the match because I was really busy. But from the highlights we see from the match, we say it was the pressure from the Malian team that made them score a goal, because it was a corner kick. Then the defender the player made a nothing before he played. There was an own goal, and they scored again. before the Burkina Faso players could equalize, to score a goal. So I can't really say much about them, but what I know, the Burkina Faso players were really under pressure.
Okay. All right. Before we go further, let's quickly take a listen to the Super Eagles coach, Jose Pizarro, all the way from Portugal, where he actually said something and also talked about Stanley Nwabali. Okay, you can hear the coach there from Cote d'Ivoire saying they will do a fantastic job against the Palanque and Negras of Angola. How fantastic do you think the Super Eagles will be against this team?
We shouldn't lie, from the game is getting better day by day, right from the first match against Equatorial Guinea. It was like, okay, these guys are playing that better. Against Cote d'Ivoire, they played a little bit better. Against Guinea-Bissau, they played, it was quite better than that of Equatorial Guinea. But again, I think the best game so far was against Cameroon, and it seems the momentum are building higher and higher. So they should just, the issue is that our attacking for the midfield is not as cohesive the way we think it should be. The passes are not coming from the midfield. If you look at the match against Cameroon, we only have two natural midfielders in presence of Nwobi and Frank Oyeka at the middle there. The rest of the Seydou and what do you call it, Olaina are played as wing back. So you can see the passes are not coming from the midfield the way it ought to come. You have to see players of the likes of Lukman and Samuel Moses coming down to the midfield to come and collect the ball and do other things. So I think, and which makes Osimhen struggling, because Osimhen, to me, he should have like 5 or 6 goals already in tournament. He only has a goal. But and the fantastic assist he made, the first goal, the fantastic assist he made to give to Lukman. So I think we should just work on our midfield and have a really serious game plan. I know our defense so far probably is the best defense now in the tournament. Just conceding one goal. So you should not underrate the Angolans. That is just the truth, because I think most of them might be thinking Angola. No, they should not underrate these guys. These guys are here. They are not here to play. Okay, I think they themselves also understand what is ahead of them. The Super Eagles team also is keeping their own talking to themselves. They want to do the business on the pitch. We'll get to that. All right, like we've seen that. Let's go over that result once more of those games played last night quickly before we move over to the next story, and we'll look at the parents. Let's quickly look at those results once more for our viewers. Mali 2-1 against Burkina Faso, and Morocco lost 2-0 against South Africa. All right, now let's have the parents, the quarterfinal parents, the round of 16 parents. Let's see how it is now. Nigeria will take on Angola. DR Congo will play Guinea. Mali against Ivory Coast, and Cape Verde against South Africa. Now let's pick it from the last fixture to the top. Now let's start with Cape Verde against South Africa, one after the other. Yeah, this game. Okay, I'm giving it to Cape Verde, because if you look at the Cape Verde have played more fantastic or more better than the South Africans. If you look at from the first game to the second to the last game and to the game they played against the Mauritanian team, which is at the round of 16. If Cape Verde, to be frank, it's a team when you want to meet now, you have to be scared. They played better. If you have about composure, the passes and everything, they play better than South Africans. So I'm giving it to the Cape Verde to win that match. But football, anything can happen. Anything can happen. I'm sure the South Africans are more gingered now because of the win against you can see the South Africans on Twitter today happening, the shouting, the cup is coming on, because this is the greatest. The Moroccans are the greatest threats in the competition. If we would like it or not, everybody is scared to meet Morocco, and now they're out. So, and the team that won with South Africa, the inspiration is like, wow, if we can beat the number 1 team in Africa, then who can't we beat? But if you have to look about the tactics and every other thing, Cape Verde is quite better, or plays better than South Africa.
Okay, let's go over to the next one. Mali, Cote d'Ivoire. Mali, Cote d'Ivoire.
It's a very
eagles and the elephant. Eagle is a big bird flying in the sky. An elephant is also a very massive animal, at least on the ground. So these two teams will also be squaring it out there in Cote d'Ivoire.
It's a very dicey one. Prior to now, actually the Ivorians thought they're out of the competition, if not for the win against Morocco against Zambia. So now, and if you look at when how they played against the Senegalese, they started very shaky. The first goal came from the defense wasn't organized at all. before they scored, before they tried to equalize. But after as the game moves on, they continue building momentum, organize themselves and continue playing better. So I think now from that they have a motivation that, okay, well, if we thought we were out of the competition and we can now beat Senegal and be at the quarterfinal. So the inspiration is there for them, and if you have to look at it, we shouldn't like the Ivorians play better than the Mali players. So I'm giving it to Ivory Coast.
Okay, DR Congo, Guinea.
I'm giving it to DR Congo. Either we like it or not. DR Congo, probably because I'm a former Chelsea player. I play for them. That is Kakuta. Probably because I like them that much. And I don't know, but I know the DR Congo players. We look at them, very much composed team also too. From the play from the defense down to midfield, down to the attack. Very organized team. So I think they are going to win against Guinea.
Okay, you think they are going to win against Guinea? That's the quarterfinal pairings. We know that everything, hostilities will start on Friday with the Super Eagles of Nigeria in action. So let's see how those games will go, and let's see those who will make it to the semi-final. Quickly, before we move over to the next story, let's look at the knockout phase. Let's see that graphics of this knockout phase. Let's see how the movement is going to be if Nigeria beats Angola, where they will be. If Angola beats Nigeria, where there will be the knockout, how it is being placed. Who will they play? If after the quarter-final game? I think we're going to have that. If we can lay our hand on that, and we'll bring it up quickly. Okay, let's go straight to the Nigerian Premier Football League. There was a rescheduled game between Rivers United and Enyimba International right there at the Dokir Amasika Stadium in Port Harcourt, but it was 2-0 against Enyimba International. Now 6 times they've played, no win for Enyimba, with just 1 draw in all of the 6 meetings. For how many years now they've not been able to beat Rivers United? People
do say the Enyimba is like glory of the past. They are no longer as as functional or as proficient the way they used to be before. So it wasn't surprising when I saw that Rivers United won, and for the fact that Rivers they are playing at home, it's an advantage. So I'm not surprised with the way they won.
Okay, you're not surprised with the way they were. Okay, let's have the table before. If we can get that knockout phase, we will bring it up on the screen speedily. But let's have the Nigerian Premier League football table and see what that result after that 2-0 victory over Enyimba International, what it means for Rivers United. Lobby Stars still remain at the top of the table with 36 points. We have Remo Stars who are 35, who have 35 points after 19 games, and they have 10 goal difference. We have Doma United third with 32 points. We have Kano Pillars fourth with 32 points also. We have Enyimba, who is on the 5th position with 32 points. If they have won that game, that means they would have pushed up to 35 points. They would have put Remo Stars away from the 2nd position, but they lost. Plateau United is 6th on the table with 31 points. Bendel Insurance is 7th with 30 points. Enugu Rangers is 8th with 28 points. Katsina United is 9th with 27 points, and Abia Warriors is on the 10th position with 26 points. Let's look at the flip side of the table quickly and see what it means. Rivers United, after that victory now, they have pushed up to 11th position, though they still have 2 games in hand. 24 points they have. Now Shooting Stars is 12th with 23 points and -2 goal difference. Quara United on the same points with Shooting Stars, who is on the 13th position with -2 goal difference and 23 points. Sunshine Stars is on the 14th position with 22 points. Aqua United is 15th position with 21 points, and Niger Tornadoes is 16th with 21 points, and Heartland FC of Owerri is at the bottom of the table with 17 points. Okay, let's have the knockout, how it's been arranged, what it means if the Super Eagles beat Angola, and if Angola beats, let's just look at how those teams, the movement will be. Now look at the way it's standing. This is the knockout bracket. We have Nigeria, Angola, who will be playing on Friday. Whoever wins that game, push to that space you're seeing there, and then whoever wins between Cape Verde and South Africa definitely will play the winner between Nigeria and Angola. Then the same thing goes for Mali, Ivory Coast, DR Congo, Guinea. So the possibility, quickly before we move over from the NPFL and go straight to Europe, what's the possibility now from these 8 teams? 8 teams. Let's just predict your semi-finalist.
Wow, if I'm not to be biased, and to say, okay, let's look by paper and every other thing, I think I'm seeing Nigeria at the final, not even a semi-final.
Oh?
I'm seeing Nigeria. I'm predicting the Nigeria Ivory Coast at the final.
Okay, Nigeria and Ivory Coast at the final.
That's what I'm predicting.
Let's leave it there. Nigeria, Ivory Coast on the final. You've seen the movement. Let's see what it is or how it's going to happen after the quarterfinal games will start on Friday with Nigeria. Super Eagles Nigeria, our own Super Eagles, will be in action against the Palanca Negras of Angola. All right, let's go straight to Europe. After games in the EPL, the English Premier League last night, Nottingham Forest cannot stop disturbing Arsenal, but despite that, they lost that game 2-1 at their stadium. 2-1 it ended, and Arsenal now have at least closed up the gap against Liverpool. Fulham and Everton played at a goalless draw. Luton Town trashed Brighton 4-0, surprising result. Crystal Palace 3, Sheffield United 2, and then we have Aston Villa 1, Newcastle United 3. That's a very good result for Newcastle after some mixed results for them for the past months. Right now, they've not really been getting it rosy, but they got that win against Aston Villa at Villa Park. Let's quickly have the table. Let's look at the table and how teams are standing, and let's look at Arsenal. Arsenal now has 46 points, 2 points adrift of Liverpool, who's at the top with 48 points. Manchester City is third with 43 points. Aston Villa fourth with 43 points. Tottenham Hotspur is on the 5th position with 40 points. West Ham, surprisingly, is on the 6th position with 35 points. Newcastle, 7th with 32 points. Brighton is on the 8th position with 32 points. And Manchester United is on the 9th position with 32 points. If they get their win, they are definitely going to push at least 2 teams away from that position and occupy where they are supposed to be. Chelsea is on the 10th position with 31 points. Let's look at the flip side of the table quickly. We have Wolves on the 11th position, and Nottingham Forest stays 16th position. Luton following with 19 points on the 17th position, and Sheffield United remain bottom with 10 points. All right, I think let's quickly take this last story where this woman has actually bagged the return as president of the Nigerian Sports Federation. That is Nigerian School Sports Federation. They organize school sports, and Olabisi Joseph by name has returned as the president of that body. Okay, before we go, let's take this one. It concerns para badminton. Eniola winning 3 gold at the just concluded event in Egypt, and she has also already qualified for the Paris 2024, that is Para Paris Olympic 2024. With this feat, she won 3 gold in Cairo, and that is where we'll leave it on the program. Noah Samson, thanks for joining me on the show. It was a wonderful one having you on 360 Sports this morning.
The pleasure is mine.
All right, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashimin. Thanks for watching.